Hey y'all, I'm doing something a little different tonight. I'm going to come to you with some dark side of being a writer or a creative. So I'm coming at it specifically from the view of a writer, but this would pertain to any creative piece of art or work. Um, it's an experience that a lot of different artists feel, but I wanted to pull you in. If you aren't a writer, you aren't an artist, you haven't experienced this, then I think it's something we don't always talk about. Um, and so wanted to like give you a sneak peek, bring you backstage, and tell you a little bit about it. So, as an artist, there's always this lingering fear about sharing your work. Like it's kind of like a bittersweet thing because on the one hand, you're very excited and very proud of your work, and you want people to see it, and you want people to be excited about it. But you know that art is subjective, and no matter what you do, even if it's the best piece of art that's ever been made, somebody's not going to like it, and somebody's going to be vocal about not liking it. And sometimes that's really hard, especially when you've been with the character for like years or years, or if it's an attack on your writing style, whatever it is, it can be hard sometimes to like get that feedback. Now, it can also be really good to get feedback like that because it can improve. It can make you improve. Maybe the feedback is valid, and it's something that you can take and incorporate and work on the next time. But even if you look up book reviews for, say, Hemingway, I'm sure Shakespeare probably even like there's gonna be people who like it, there's gonna be people who don't like it, but it's hard as an artist to just like keep that in mind and to see those things happen or said about your work sometimes. So what if people don't understand it? It can be like really scary sometimes. Now, the other thing, or one of the other things, is that creating art can take a lot of time and effort. So hours and hours go into writing, into research, into editing, into refining a project. Now, especially if you're, really any kind of author, you still have to put the time in to promote the work. I'm an independent author, and so I have to do double time with everything. I'm not only writing and doing all of that, but I'm also like promoting everything myself as well. And so it's a lot of time you might not see unless you're striking a deal or you've got a huge fan base. You might not see financial dividends or even make your money back for the time and the effort that you put into it. So it can feel a little bit like shouting into the void sometimes. And that's okay. The reality is that a lot of artists don't make money from their work. So, according to the Authors Guild, the median income for authors is below the poverty line, and I believe that. Now, I have a full-time corporate communications job in addition to writing. And so the writing that I do is like at night after I've already done a full days of other work. Um, so it can be really tricky. There's some people that are able to make it on not having another job or maybe having not as a job that's as demanding, but it can be super tough. So it's a tough industry. There's a lot of people writing. The financial rewards aren't great unless you're a huge author. But despite that, so the act of creating is incredible. So, and that's what really keeps me going. Writing helps me to maintain a good mental health. So it's a way to express myself, to explore new worlds, it helps me feel less anxious. It helps me connect with others through my stories. It also has given me a lot of confidence. So I've learned skills. I've had to learn things. Like I said, I'm independent. And so everything that I do, I've had to do myself. And so learning that I could do it myself has been a huge benefit to me because now I know, hey, there's not very many things like I've gone out and looked and said, I want to do that. And then I went and figured out how to do that. And so I know that there's not very many things that are truly, really beyond me. And so then when you can take that back and start using that in other facets of your life, it can be really helpful. So I've seen a lot of benefits from writing. So there's times though, like I said, when I'm sleepless because I've been up late trying to finish a chapter, trying to get in a word count. But balancing both of those things, my corporate work and my writing work, can be exhausting, but it's also really rewarding. So seeing my characters come to life and hearing from readers who enjoy my work, it all makes it worth it. So your comments, your support, your encouragement, it all means the world to me. And it reminds me of why I do this, even on the tough days. So to all of the artists out there, like, keep going. I know that it's hard, whether you're a writer, a painter, a musician, like any other kind of creator. Just know that what you're doing is important. It's important for other people in the world to be able to relate to your art, but it's also important for you. And even though it's scary and it can be challenging, it's also really important. And I feel like, especially now and these days, especially with writers, it's a scary time with the attack that we're seeing on our libraries and the ability to speak and to say things and to tell stories. There's a war on that right now, and so that's part of the reason why I am here trying to be a bit more vocal than what I have been in the past, because we can't have that. It scares me for my daughter, and I don't want a world where we can't tell stories, because stories is how we understand humanity. It's how we understand other people. It's how we understand ourselves, and it's how we make a world that allows for people to be who they are. And so that's something that I stand up for and want to support. So I hope this has been a bit enlightening. I thank you for taking the time to listen, and until next time, take care. Happy reading, happy writing, happy making, happy creating. Bye for now.